Well, good morning, traders and investors. My name is Roger Scott. Today is Friday. It is the 19th of February. I still don't know where the last year has gone. It's been a black hole. I'm the senior strategist for Wealth Press, and today I've got something really exciting for you. I really mean it. I'm usually this excited, but I'm extra excited today. Why? I've got the 13F filings. Today we're going to find out what the fastest growing hedge funds the last quarter were holding, and with the fastest gaining hedge funds we're buying. Now, believe it or not, I found several of my stocks this way. I found SE this way, C Limited. I found Melly this way, and several other stocks. So I'm going to go through that today after I get through the reports. Take a piece of paper and a pen, write down some of these ticker symbols. I'll review some of them today. This is going to be a very exciting session. What do I always say? Let's get into it right now. So, U.S. futures are mostly higher, even though we had a disappointing American jobs economic data. Look at this. Look at this thing. We were expecting 768,000, 861,000, going back high again. We went to 965,000, then we went to 900,000, then we went to 793,000. Now we're back at 861,000. Folks, this is bad. Why? Several reasons. Number one, this is recent. This is ending last week, 7 days ago. We've got almost as many people applying for unemployment as we had a year ago, 11 and a half months ago, when this COVID first started. This is really bad, and it's explaining and showing to me very clearly how vulnerable the market is. But for this $1.9 trillion package that's set to come in, we would be in deep doo-doo. Why? Because if people are unemployed, if we have almost 1 million jobless claims a week, think about what that means for the economy. What kind of spending do people have? It's very bad. So let's talk more about it. But yeah, disappointing job claims. What does the stock market do? It rises. Go figure. Thursday, U.S. government reported 861 people applied for unemployment benefits last week. That's what I'm talking about right here. Minutes of the Federal Reserve's latest meeting showed central bank officials believe the COVID pandemic still poses considerable risk to the economy. Gee, you think? With 861,000 people a year after COVID came out unemployed, you think it's posing a substantial risk to the economy? Gee, we needed the Fed to tell us that? Sometimes they just say things that are just like, really? You think? I mean, the jobless numbers don't speak for themselves. I'm really upset about all this. Japan's monthly Purchaser Managers Index for manufacturing rose to its highest level in 2 years. Manufacturing in Japan is doing well, and they're actually trying to keep this COVID in check. They're doing better than expected. Their GDP is actually higher, which is a surprise. And they're in a bull market for the first time in like 30 years. Go figure, right? Stock prices rose over the past 6 months on optimism about the development of the COVID vaccines. Yeah, I see how it's impacting the jobless claims. That sentiment has been dented by the renewed infection spikes in the US and Europe, prompting governments to reimpose travel and business restrictions. And jobless claims. People are not working, folks. How can they spend money? How can GDP go higher if economy is not growing? An economy can't really expand if people are applying for unemployment at a clip of 860,000 per week. This is last week's. This is not a month ago. This is last Friday's data. And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you many times, and so did Jeff Zaneri. Shares of GameStop fell 11%. Congress is conducting a hearing on the recent volatility of companies caught in the tug-of-war between Wall Street institution investors betting against companies and online retail investors who pushed shares higher. They're not going to let this go, folks. They're going to go as deep as they can. And honestly, if they have to make up stuff, I think they will. They want to make an example out of this. They don't want this happening on Wall Street. So they are going to make example out of people. They're going to make examples out of companies. They're going to go on a witch hunt if they have to find out what in the world happened so it doesn't happen again. Why? Because it undermines Wall Street's activity. It undermines how retail investors look at the market. And they start believing that it can be manipulated. And if people believe markets can be manipulated, in the short term, it's fun and it's exciting. But in the long term, they're going to stop trusting the stock market. We can't afford that. So they're down 11% and they're going to go down substantially more. I predicted they were going to go down to their base, which was about 15 bucks. I think they're going to do that. Now, bond market breaking down. It's continuing to break down. Look at that, down 0.65. Folks, long bonds, long-term rates are in fact going higher. Now, before you get your, don't get all wound up, they're still ultra low at a 30-year, 40-year low, but they are going to start going higher. And that means we're going to have some inflationary pressure. It's not even a question. It's just a matter of how much. Because short-term rates are staying stable, but long-term rates are going higher. And that's telling us that there's inflation. It's called widening or straightening or flattening of that curve. But the point is, there's a big deviation now between the short-term rates and the long-term rates because long-term rates want to go higher. Look at the bond market. It's going lower and interest rates are inverse. And now, let's talk about the top stocks that hedge funds held and bought last quarter. Now, what do I do? Very, very simple. I look at the top 5 gaining hedge funds and I see what they held in common. And then I see the top 5 gaining hedge funds and I'm seeing what they're buying in common. And I look to see what they have in their top 5 holdings. And then I see how many. I'm not the only guy that does this, but I do this very well. And usually we find a bunch of stocks that we're familiar with. But sometimes we find stocks that we're not familiar with. And I kind of, I put them up here for you so we can review. So let me go through. These are the holdings. And like last time I did this, blue chips or Amazon and Microsoft, Facebook were not here. Now they're back. So Amazon, 7 out of the top 5 holdings. Microsoft, 6 out of the top 5 holdings. Facebook, 5 out of the top 5 holdings. Nothing surprising. Melli, 4. Square, Shopify, JD, Visa, Sea Limited, Tesla, Salesforce, Netflix, Alphabet, PayPal, MasterCard, Coupa Software, C-O-U-P, I talked about that one. CoStar Group, I'll get into that one in a second. Sunrun and PDD, Pinduoduo. I love that name, Pinduoduo. So now most of you are familiar with Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, even Melli at this point. I've talked about it ad nauseum, ticker symbol M-E-L-I. It's only gone up 1,000 points since I've started talking about it. Only 1,000. Square, you guys are familiar with. Shopify, Shop, you're familiar with. JD, you're familiar with. Visa, you're obviously familiar with. Sea Limited, which I found this way. SE, you're obviously familiar with it. It's only gone up 4 times or 3.5 times since I brought it up a year ago. Tesla is on there. Not as high up as you would think. It's quite low. Salesforce is up there. Netflix, Google, PayPal, MasterCard, Coupa, C-O-U-P. I did mention it before. Now let's talk about some stocks that I've never mentioned on the list. CoStar Group. I've never mentioned this stock. They are holding this stock. What does they do? Information services to commercial real estate industry. Digital services leasing marketplace. Interesting. It looks like commercial real estate. CoStar Group. 5-year return, 413%. That's a pretty good return. The stock is looking higher. Ticker symbol CSGP. So I'm going to start looking at the stock, and I love how it's look at that nice strong trend. Next stock that's on my run. Look at this stock. Again, sticking near the 50-day moving average. What did they do? Again, these are all new stocks. I have not had these stocks. It's gone up 208%. It manages, sells residential solar energy systems. Oh yeah, and it's in the Russell 2000. Now, you know I'm going to be all over this stock this year. And then Pinduoduo, but we've already had Pinduoduo. We've talked about Pinduoduo. We've talked about Pinduoduo several times, and I've urged you guys to buy it. E-commerce platform, Shanghai, e-commerce, foreign economy, 437%. That's where you want to be right now. So these are the companies that are holdings. I'm going to read them again for you. And most of them you're familiar with. Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Mercolibre, M-E-L-I, ticker symbol, Square, Shopify, JD, Visa, Sea Limited, Tesla, Salesforce, Netflix, Alphabet, PayPal, MasterCard, Coupa, C-O-U-P. We talked about it. But these 3, CSGP, CoStar Group, Sunrun, ticker symbol RUN, and Pinduoduo. And I've talked about Pinduoduo. I love the name. Pinduoduo, PDD. Those are the top holdings. Now let's talk about what they're buying. And again, a lot of these stocks you'll find we've talked about, but a lot of them we have not. So what are they buying? Uber. 20% of funds are holding Uber. Then Pinduoduo, PDD. Then Cloudflare, which I've talked about a year ago, ticker symbol NET. Then this company called DoorDash. DoorDash, a lot of them are holding DoorDash. And what does DoorDash do? You will see here, restaurant delivery service. Just recently started trading. Hot stock. They're trading this stock a lot right now. C Limited, which, let me show you C Limited. This is the first stock I found this way. Look at this thing. Let me show you a year. We found this stock right here when it was at $73. It's only at $267 now. So this is important stuff. So C Limited, CrowdStrike, Melly, Illumina. We talked about Illumina, ticker symbol ILMN, Alphabet. And then this company here, Billy, ticker symbol Billy. First time I'm seeing this. Profile, online entertainment platform, primarily in China. China Tech. 1 year return, 428%. So keep your eye on this Billy. Then Sunrun, we talked about Sunrun already. And then this company here, Liberty Broadcast. 2 out of the fastest gaining funds are holding it. Engages in digital cable services to residential and commercial customers. We'll have to start looking at it. So I'm going to go through them again for you. So first we'll do the holdings. These are all the stocks that are in the top 5 of the fastest gaining hedge funds last quarter. Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Mercado Libre, Square, Shopify, JD, Visa, C Limited, Tesla, Salesforce, Netflix, Alphabet, PayPal, MasterCard, Coupa, CoStar, Sunrun, Pinduoduo. And now, what are they buying? Uber, Pinduoduo, Cloudflare, DoorDash, C Limited still, ticker symbol SC, told you that a year ago. CrowdStrike, Mercado Libre, Illumina, Alphabet, Google, Billy, B-I-L-I, that's a new one, Sunrun, S-U-N, Run, ticker symbol Run, and Liberty Broadband. So again, what's the big surprises here? Pinduoduo, PDD, Run, Billy, Liberty Broadcast, CoStar Group, and you already know about C Limited. So again, those are some surprises. And DoorDash. That's what I replaced it with. So these are the surprises. Run, PDD, Billy, Liberty, CSGP, and Dash. Now, before I let you guys go, and remember, this is big stuff. I found some of my biggest players. Melly has made 1,000 points since I found it here. SC has quadrupled. These are some of the best players. I back into stocks this way, and then I do my own research, but I wanted to get this to you. It just came out on the 15th. This is big stuff. Now, before I let you go, every single day, right around 3 p.m. Eastern time, an hour before the market closes, a stock market anomaly forces Wall Street to start bleeding cash, giving everyday traders the opportunity to make consistent overnight returns. This 3 p.m., what we call burn window, as Joy of the Trade, Jeff Zananeri calls it, burn window. It allows anyone to buy low and sell high just 18 hours later. In fact, Jeff has already used the strategy to bag dozens of overnight winners for his readers. That's right. Now he's getting ready to reveal exactly why these massive profit opportunities happen. He's going to teach you all about it so you can learn this for yourself and how you can start taking advantage of them right now. Click the link below to start capitalizing on these 18-hour explosions. Do it now. You've got to check this out. Jeff has managed like $700 million. He's an ex-hedge fund manager. You've got to check this out. Jeff knows his stuff. Click the link below to start capitalizing on these 18-hour explosions. And make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're watching on YouTube. Stay ahead of the market by being the first to be notified when we post new videos, and post some feedback from me. I need feedback so I know whether you guys are getting any benefit out of these videos. Hope it helps, and follow the link below. Learn to capitalize on these 18-hour explosions. This is an anomaly you don't want to miss. Talk to you guys soon, and have a great weekend. Bye.